Here we go. Okay, we're going on an adventure today. Special adventure. We're taking the dogs to the dog park. But because Benny doesn't get to ride her motorcycle, we're going to take the motorcycles too. So all the dogs are packed in the Tesla, which is crazy. Look at Buddy. Buddy, you're the best dog. We're going to the other side of Kunming, just south of Chunggong. We will drive through Kunming, actually under the Second Ring Road, then onto a busy interstate highway, through Chunggong, and then to the dog park. Okay, Benny is ready with her little bend up. You ready? Ready? Let's go. Okay. I thought I'd go ahead and make this an episode just because my dogs are a big part of my life here in China, as well as my friends' lives. The ride isn't very spectacular, but I thought it might be interesting to see the city and the traffic, and it will give me a little bit of time to talk about the story of my dogs and how I became a dog trainer here in China. A family, friends of mine, came to China in about 2011. They had 3 children that they had promised a dog. So after they got settled, they asked if I would help pick out a golden retriever puppy for them, which of course I did. The problem was almost immediately they started fostering special needs children. Not a good mix for an 8-10-week-old golden retriever and special needs babies. So little Daisy grew up, not under ideal conditions, and finally, when he was about 9 or 10 months old, the family decided they needed to get rid of her. And I decided to take her. I had been the training director of the Central Florida Retriever Club and had had quite a few dogs over the years, so basic obedience was something I know quite well. So we started training in my apartment complex. On the second day, a Chinese guy came up to me and asked how to get his dog to sit. I told him to get his dog and I would show him. Then another Chinese asked about the same question and a basic obedience class was born. It grew and I started an obedience school business and was the first licensed dog trainer in Kunming. Then one day, I got on the elevator and there was a husband and wife pinning a very red golden retriever to the back wall to prevent him from jumping on me. I commented that I could help them with their dog if they'd like. Kathy immediately said yes. I went home and got a bag of hot dogs and went up to their apartment and formally met Chili, a 2-year-old whole male who was completely out of control. He jumped over the couch to greet me, and I knew I could be in big trouble if he bit. So I led with a hot dog to the mouth, and we were instantly and forever best friends. Kathy is my hero, and let me explain why. She started training with me and was a great student. She also speaks great English, so she also became my translator. The problem was her husband. He wouldn't do anything regarding the obedience training, so she divorced him. My kind of woman. Of course, there were other issues, but I love to tell people she divorced because he wasn't good to her dog. Chili, too, was a great student, and they made great progress. I convinced her to get him neutered, and that helped as well. And he loved Daisy, and they got along great. Enter Kathy's new boyfriend from New Jersey. He came to visit. We went out to dinner. Great guy. Next thing I know, Kathy is talking about visiting him and wondering what she could do with Chili. At exactly the same time, my landlord told me I had to move because her sister was coming back to town and needed a place to stay. Kathy had an apartment and she needed a dog sitter. Both problems solved. I moved 4 floors up to an identical apartment, except it was very well decorated to boot and it came with Chili. It was a great arrangement. I stayed there about a year and a half. Kathy married the guy and then shipped Chili over to New Jersey, where he adjusted to freedom very nicely. But Chili had become my dog. He loved the dog-powered scooter like few other dogs, and that was a part of my business at the time, and when he left, I missed him terribly. Enter Buddy. A friend of mine from South Dakota, with 3 kids, asked my advice on a puppy and picked a male Labrador that they named Gunner. I helped with the training, and he was a good family dog, but they had to leave China pretty suddenly, and they asked if I would take him. I knew he was great with kids, had some basic training, and I knew Daisy was missing Chili, so we took him. He was about a year old and a monster. He's well over 100 pounds. I changed his name to Buddy because he's my buddy, and he is just the best dog. He's wonderful with my special needs kids, and because he's so big, they can't hurt him. And he is so gentle. So there you have it, a little background into my dogs, and you'll see more of them when we get to the dog park. So, I think we're close. So here we are. This is the dog park. Yay, buddy. Yay, buddy. How are you, sweetie? Moving how? Moving how?
Look at Nini!
Look at Nini. Nini! No! Look at her. Like a rat. Wow. Did Daisy go swimming, Anna? Did Daisy go swimming? She did?
Yeah, she went. She doesn't swim. She walks in the shallow part.
How about Buddy?
Buddy just jumped in and jumped out.
Really?
He's so excited.
Yay.
Yes, Buddy.
Hey, Buddy. The dog park is owned and operated by a friend of Benny's. It has a large pool for the dogs to swim and about an acre for the dogs to run. It has lots of shade trees, so it's a very enjoyable place. The best part is we just let the dogs loose. People with dogs that might fight use muzzles, and the rest just have the best time sniffing butts. My dogs are both very friendly, not aggressive at all, so I don't have to worry about them.
Ooh, you guys are cooking. Yay.
These are ready. 他来吃了。
我很饿。
我已经饿死了。我没有吃。
Yay. Oh, look.
什么都不想说了，直接拿
Look
筷
at
子
the
吃吧。
clams. Oh my god. I'm gonna cry. This is like awesome. This is amazing. Emily,
Don't say anything, just eat.
you are my hero.
The most difficult part of being a dog trainer in China is the cultural prerogative that a dog is a good or bad dog all by itself. Teaching or training is not believed to be necessary or needed.
我们1点钟到这儿的，现在几点了？才玩。哦，也才玩了2个小时。但是2个小时已经很长了，平时好喜欢1个小时。这记得人家有多少次要花钱了？哦，是吗？哦，从教啊会嘛，然后你们也会那个你会老会的老状态。
I'm excited about next week's episode. It's a place we visited before, but when we passed through, we were exhausted from a very long ride, so we couldn't really appreciate it. I'm talking about the Singsu River Gorge in Lufeng. It's about 60 kilometers long. The highway is divided on either side of the gorge, so each side is one way, and you can't turn around, but it is really beautiful. Hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss a single episode.